Morning, Raptorsfreak. Alexi Otts here. It's Thursday, and that means it's time for the Thursday Think Tank, where we all get together and we kind of share a hive mind, a thinking tank of things to think about with the Toronto Raptors. And today we're taking a look at the 20-man roster for training camp this fall. Now, this is the thing. I want to say something. We're doing this way early. Like, this is going to be all decided like 2 months from now. It's just that we are excited because we know who the 20 players are that are going to play in training camp. At least we think we know. This could still change somehow, some way, depending on things with Svi and different people on the stuff like that. But we pretty much know who the 20 are. And now with Juan Hernan Gomez getting signed this week. So the whole premise of today is on initial first 20 look, who do you think out of those 20 should make the team? That basically I'm asking everybody that now that we know who the 20 players are, which three would you take off the team to have the absolute best roster for the Toronto Raptors in the 2022-2023 season just about to start? And, basically, it doesn't have to be exactly what the scenario is with who could be cut or anything. I'm saying you could cut any of the Raptors. If you were crazy and you wanted to cut Scottie Barnes off this version of the Raptors for this year, you could do that. So nothing's off the table, although that's insane. And I would tell you you're crazy if you told me you wanted Scottie Barnes one of the three cut off. Now, just real quick, that's my warning ahead of time, saying this is something that won't get figured out for 2 months. And this may be a lot of what the content on this channel will be centered around in the training camp, obviously, is talking about who might get cut, who may make the team, and things like that. That's just the nature of it. But we can early speculate. Of course, a lot of this will get figured out by the play that they show in training camp, how they look in training camp, how they play in the preseason. Things like that will determine who gets these spots. But we can pick an early favorite. We can pick early favorites that we think will make the team and who won't and stuff like that. Now, Giovanni has been here last night and has dropped a book on me in the comments ahead of time. If y'all didn't know this, you can come ahead of time if I have my stream up, and you can put comments in early and leave them for me, and I will answer them at the beginning of my broadcast, and you can come back and watch it if you can't make it live. So if you ever want to ask me something or put something in for the episode, you can go ahead and do it ahead of time. And if you don't catch me live, you can still get your comment read and stuff like that. So Giovanni, man, you wrote a lot. I don't know. I'm going to kind of go over it real quick and just real fast. He's saying, I think there are 3 spots available to grab. 4 of Svi is dropped. Now, yeah, that's true. We have 3 spots that are open technically right now, and we have all 14 of the other spots filled. 12 regular roster spots, 2 two-way spots with Ron Harper Jr. and Jeff Doughton Jr., and then 3 spots left open with 6 players that need to get in those spots. Now, those 6 players that are vying over 3 spots are Christian Coloco, Delano Banton, DJ Wilson, Juancho Hernan Gomez, Justin Champagnie, and Armani Brooks. So basically, 3 of those guys are going to go away, and 3 of those guys are going to make the team. Now, if they cut Svi, buy him out, then that means 1 more of those guys will be able to make it out of those 6. Now, Delano and Christian are kind of a given. Like, I would think Christian Coloco for sure is a given that he will be getting a contract in one of those 3 spots. And Delano is very favored, but these are not guarantees, either one of them. Now, Coloco's pretty much sure. But I was wondering about this the other day, is there an off chance that they may say to Coloco, look, we're not going to give you a regular NBA contract this year. You're going to play strictly on the 905 this season, and they don't even use him for one of these roster spots. I think this is a long shot, that this is not probably going to happen, that they really do want him to get a taste of the NBA and that he will get one of these regular spots on the NBA roster with the Raptors. So that's kind of I would say it's like a 97% chance that he will get a contract, and that 3% maybe, or maybe even less, that he may just get a G League only contract. Now, that I don't think that's going to happen. And then with Delano, I'm not sure why this is taking so long to get him anything under contract for this training camp, stuff like that. So that's interesting to me also. I think that has something to do with money and years and trying to figure it out and maybe trying to get him on long term and stuff like that. So Giovanni's right. There's 3 spots open, 6 guys vying for 3 spots. Now, if we buy out Svi, that changes things and adds another spot altogether. Now, Giovanni said, I believe Koloko, Delano Banton, and Justin Champagnie are on the team bearing some disaster at training camp. Those guys are set. Now, see, I would agree with 2 of those guys, but I wouldn't agree with Justin because Justin didn't play in Summer League, and that this is a big problem. That Summer League was part of showing the things that he's where he is and what he's doing right now. Everybody remembers at the end of G League, he was killing it. He was scoring major points. He's doing crazy stuff, but that doesn't necessarily translate over to what's going on. We really got to see him now, and it'll be in training camp. He'll have a chance there, but I don't think he is set. He's not set as you were putting it. I would say that Koloko's set. Delano's mostly set because he did do really well in Summer League. But Justin Champagnie is not set in any kind of way for real to be on this team for sure. Giovanni's saying that means Svi's spot is up for grabs, and it's DJ Wilson, Armani Brooks, Svi, and Hernan Gomez fighting for Svi's spot. Okay, that's the way he sees it. And that could very well be the truth, but we'll have to see. Like, this is the great thing. This is just us putting forth scenarios and what we think could happen. Like, you could come tell me you want to cut Svi or you cut Malachi, you want to cut Cam, all this kind of stuff. We'll talk about any of that. So any of your ideas, which 3 would you take off the 20 to have the best 17 for the Raptors this year is what I'm saying. Also, Giovanni saying, I think Armani Brooks brings pretty much the same thing as Svi, except Armani is smaller. So I don't think they will cut Svi for Armani Brooks. Okay, that could be true. I could see that. Also, he's saying when it comes down to DJ Wilson and Hernan Gomez, I think Hernan Gomez might be a little better offensively, but DJ Wilson is better defensively and knows the Raptors system. Now, I know that DJ Wilson's familiarity with the Raptors system will do him real justice in this camp battle between Hernan Gomez and DJ Wilson. Now, I thought it was the opposite. I thought that Hernan Gomez was better defensively and DJ Wilson's better offensively than him. And that DJ Wilson has a couple of defensive flaws. And I just think that Hernan Gomez, because of his frame and his stuff like that, if he gets after it and he learns our system, he could be a really good defender. So I think we see things a little bit opposite there. Giovanni's saying, I give the inside track to DJ Wilson simply because he played with the Raptors and knows the system. Yeah, I give him I'm really high on DJ Wilson being on the Raptors this season. I'm going to talk about the reasons why. I picked the 3 who I cut and the 17 that I like. I have some very specific reasons for my reasoning, but we'll get through Giovanni's book real quick. Giovanni's also saying, I remember Thad Young last year after he came to the Raptors after the trade as a veteran in the league, saying it wasn't easy as a veteran, learning to play every position and the switching. Yeah, a veteran like Thad Young, who's been in this league for so long, when he first came to the Raptors, there was an adjustment time to learning all 5 positions and how the Raptors wanted him to play with the switchable defense. That's not easy to do. And that is going to be a detriment to somebody like Juancho Hernan Gomez, because he doesn't have as much time in it and he's going to have to learn it faster. And he's probably doing it right now. He's probably expediting learning everything the Raptors do as quickly as possible so that he's ready for training camp. Now, talking about Thad Young real quick, I just want to do an aside. He had an interesting interview this week where he said that it was the plan all along when he got traded for Goran and came to Toronto that it was going to be a multi-year thing. That he knew at that time that the Raptors had told him, they said, listen, we want you not just for this half year to finish out the year. We want you for a few years after this. So be ready to come back and sign with us as a free agent this summer. And that's exactly what happened. So this was the plan all along, Thad Young revealing in his interview this week, to have him come back and have multiple years here in Toronto, that it was a great fit. He really loves it. The Raptors really love it because they finally got him. They were talking about having him for years and years and years. They finally got him. And it's just a great fit. And this really shows an insight to how the Raptors conduct business with their players. That they don't keep them in the cold. They don't keep them out and not knowing what's going on. That they said to Thad straight up when he came in and said, look, I know you're only on contract for the rest of this year, but we want to re-sign you after this and keep you for another couple years. And that this was all knowledge between him and the team, him knowing exactly what his place. This now apply this to things like Fred VanVleet's contract extension. Apply this to Scottie Barnes and trade talks this summer. The team is very much communicative with the players and telling them what they're going to do so that they don't have to worry. So they don't have to be out there kind of in the wind, like dangling, like, I don't know what's going on with my situation with the team. So Thad Young knew what was going to happen. And I'm sure Fred VanVleet knows what's going to happen with his contract extension, just like Scottie Barnes knows that he's not going to get traded for Kevin Durant. So this is communication in the Raptors organization, really important, stuff like that. So let's keep going. Giovanni's also saying, I think Herman Gomez is going to have a learning curve. Yeah, we're just kind of saying that. Also, it's going to be a dogfight for that last spot. This is going to be one of the most competitive training camp fights in years and years in the Raptors. It seems like every year we ratchet it up just a little bit more tighter. Maybe it's just that the competition in the NBA is getting better and better. There's more better players. There's more unearthed talent that we all have to discover. And then it always seems like when we come into training camp, these guys are really good. Like it seems like all these guys that are fighting for a training camp spot could be in the NBA, that they could all be playing for a team in the NBA somewhere. So, and stuff like that. One more for Giovanni. The question also has to be asked: do they need Armani or Svi if they have Jeff Doughton also? If not, then the battles between DJ Wilson and Hernan Gomez. Yeah. And your last comment, Giovanni, that you left me is actually the one that I will agree with the most. With Jeff Doughton on the team, Armani Brooks is not really that necessary. And getting into who I would cut, that's part of why I was factoring into that. And that you think it's going to be between Wilson and Hernan Gomez. Yeah, I see that too. That's very similar to how I see the situation. All right, looks like we got a lot of people here live. So let's go ahead and get in those. Good morning, Monique. Good morning, Tom Duke. Gio has it covered. I don't know if Gio's exactly right, though, Tom. I'd like to hear your opinion, Monique, everybody's opinion today. You give me the 3 names that you would cut from the 20, and we'll go over each one of you guys' scenarios and talk about how likely is this and how this could happen. G's saying, good morning. Jimmy Dreads is throwing everybody in a frenzy. Whoops, buckets, laughing my ass off. Yeah, this is funny. This is silly. Like, I understand this, listen, people get hair extensions and stuff like that. It's like a weird thing. And like, maybe people shouldn't make fun of them or be like weird. Like, wait a second, your hair was this long yesterday and now it's like down past your shoulders and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody can do this and pull it off. It's Jimmy Butler. I'm wondering why he did it. Like, this seems like, listen, if you're a basketball player, I understand Precious has got this vibe and this thing with his hair and stuff, like Gary with his hair and stuff like that. But I would want to have less around my neck and kind of keep cooler. I wouldn't want all that hair around my neck so that I would feel hot. And like, also you got to wonder, is it going to get floppy in your eyes and like mess up your shot or your vision on the court and stuff like that? I don't know. Jimmy, you're cool. I like you. Whatever you do, that's fine. I'm not going to make fun of you for doing something weird like this week. It is what it is. Maybe he wants to be more like Precious Achiuwa. That's what's going on. He got dreads. He got extensions. And he saw Precious throwing down nasty dunks this week in Nigeria. And he's like, man, he's my hero. I want to be like him. So Jimmy went out and got dreads and stuff like that. So he's doing a little bit of a Precious Achiuwa impression right now to me. That's how it looks like that. Everybody wants to be like Precious. That's what I'm saying. Jimmy's going to get Precious's hair. And then Scottie saw Precious throwing down nasty dunks on the IG out in Nigeria. Like I said, he did the windmill. He did the reverse up and under. And Scottie said, you know what? I want to put out some IG content of me practicing and working hard in the gym also. So Scottie's posting this picture of him with his nice, sweet shot. And then, boom, a very nice thunderous dunk in there also. That's pretty cool. I love seeing that, Big Four. Keep doing that kind of content. We're here for it. We want to see that kind of content. You guys dunking crazy dunks in the off season, getting us hyped for the next season coming up. Scottie Barnes, Precious Achiuwa, you guys are studs. And you know how to throw down the basketball. I will tell you that right now. One more person that put out some videos yesterday of practicing and shooting around was Pascal Siakam. And once again, this is just beautiful cinematography. Just amazing with the music and the cuts, the editing, the shots and stuff like that. And Pascal's shot looks really smooth right now. Like, you go see the footage on his Instagram right now, the black and white footage. and you'll see just how smooth and how beautiful his shot looks. There's one section where he shoots threes in the corner and he makes 8 in a row, like nothing, like just bombing, swish, 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 swish. Now, there's a part of some of the content that Pascal released yesterday that is a little interesting. He's talking about how he looks at playing in the NBA and understanding that this is a business also, that it's not just playing fun and games with the Raptors, that it's a business side to it. And that he understands that he just has to do what he has to do for his family and play for the team that he plays for at that time. And I didn't like the way it was worded and the way it was said. It kind of pulled at me like, wow, what are you saying this for, Pascal? But I think this is just him acknowledging that he understands that the NBA is a business and that he could get traded at any time. Not that I think that's likely. I mean, let's look at this, Pascal, for a second. You bought a house in Toronto, you and your mother live in St. Clair West. It's a very nice house, and you have nice roots here and stuff like that. We drafted you at 27th pick in the draft, and right now you're looking like you're the best player from the 2016 draft overall. Jaylen Brown and you were very close to each other as far as who the best player is from that draft. And then look, listen, we just drafted a young man from your hometown in Cameroon as our new center. We got your favorite coach in the offseason as a new assistant coach on our team. Pascal, I don't think we're going to trade you. I don't think that we have any intention of sending you anywhere. So it was a little jarring to hear this piece, but maybe it's just Pascal affirming that, he's ready for anything the NBA business world could throw at him. That if he did end up having to leave the Raptors for whatever reason, he would be ready for it and know how to deal with it and stuff like that. I saw a real strength in his footage that he put on Instagram yesterday. But also, it was a little worrisome and annoying. I don't like hearing that kind of stuff when, a player that I really love, value on this team is talking about how, well, I do know this is a business. And if I have to switch teams, I will, is basically what he's saying. I don't like that, Pascal. Monique's saying, good picture for the stream. Yeah, you like that picture, Monique? Yeah, I wanted to show the 3 guys who are really going to be in charge of making these decisions about the 20 guys going through. Nick Nurse with his analysis and practices and seeing how these guys have improved, what kind of development they've done, where they are, what leaps and strides, who they are at this point in their careers. Bobby Webster with the actual technical, like doing the job, like I'm cutting you, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, we got to cut you, that kind of stuff. And then Masai just kind of being the advisor, the poobah, the guy at the top, kind of looking at it. Well, this makes sense. Let's do this, gentlemen, kind of stuff like that. But yeah, Monique, I like that picture too. I had struggled for a sec to figure out who should be on the cover for this stream, the thumbnail. And I figured those 3 gentlemen are the ones making the decision. So they're the ones that should get the picture for the thumbnail today. Tom Duke saying Koloko is not playing 905, I bet. Yeah, you know what, Tom? I really think you're right. I think that if he is going to 905, he's going to be very dominant, and it could be a little under him, beneath him, and stuff like that. But then again, I kind of want to really see that. I love to see him go down to 905 and just absolutely kill it. Like, what if he went to 905 and the other team could not score because the man was blocking everything like crazy and stuff like that? So I'm very intrigued to see what happens with Koloko with this contract, and why we haven't heard it yet is mystifying to me. They just need to get this done, have that press conference. We want to hear questions with this young man and learn more about him. So get him signed on the dotted line, Bobby Webster, so we know exactly what his contract status with this team is. It could be that they're leaving the Delano and the Christian decisions open to allow for more of a chance for all 6 of the guys to really think they got a chance. But it really does seem like Christian and Delano got 2 of those 3 spots for sure. And that there's really just 1 spot, 2 if they cut Svi. So it's going to be tough competition. Tough. Nako the Nachos here. Good to see Nako this morning. Delano Koloko should be locks, and Juancho or Armani should get signed depending on who shoots better. I thought Justin was pretty good at rebounding at the NBA level. Yeah, okay, so Nako is picking his 3 to get cut. And he's saying that he wants to keep Juancho or Armani. So he's saying cut Justin, cut DJ Wilson, and cut either Armani or Bo Cruz. So All right, Nako. You know what? I think that you're a little you got some good ideas here. Justin was a good rebounder. He is a good rebounder, but we don't know if there's going to be much more development or more to his game that he can do on the big level. Sure, at 905 he can bust 40 points and look like the man on that court. But the one thing with Justin that I'll say, he has a really good fight in him, but he doesn't necessarily have the best NBA body. Much like Armani Brooks, these guys are undersized for their position. Like Justin and Armani are both undersized for the position. Justin's really a power forward. He's not even a small forward in some ways, and he's small for a power forward. Armani is really a shooting guard. He's not really a point guard. And he's small for a shooting guard. These are problems that players have coming in the NBA, that everything's bigger, faster, and stronger. And you may be a big dog in college and be able to throw your weight around down there, but your weight isn't as strong or big on the NBA level. And that is part of the problem here with Justin in particular, is that if the man was just a couple inches taller and maybe 5, 10 pounds heavier, he could be a real force in this league. But well, I don't want to, we're gonna have to see what happens. There's a whole lot can happen, and we're gonna be wrong with some of the stuff we're saying today. That it's going to be have to be determined by their merit and what they're showing to the coaches in summer and training camp and preseason stuff like that. So, all right, let's see. Monique is saying Precious having a great summer. You saw the dunk. Yeah, Precious looks so badass. And as I want to remind you guys, Precious Achiuwa, Share the Love Club this Saturday morning. We're going to be focusing on Precious Achiuwa for the Share the Love Club. Come in and talk about your love and appreciation for Precious. Precious having such a great week this week. Let's see. Nurse has high praise for Precious in the season coming up. Yeah, Nick Nurse is saying this week that he sees a jump in Precious's game. Look, there's a kind of a broken record going on with some of these Raptor players right now. This is weird. People are saying they're going to see a jump with Pascal. People are saying they're going to see a jump with Scottie. Saying they want OG wants to have a jump in his game. Gary Trent probably wants to have a jump in his game too. This is real interesting. Now, everybody, Shaq and Charles said we don't have any superstars. Well, what if we're growing superstars? What if we're growing guys that are going to get even better and better and better? And they were really good last year. And people are like, well, how can they do that? Well, there's a lot of different ways we can do that. It's by getting better together, that we understand each other better, that there's a synergy, there's a chemistry, and boom, all of a sudden Scottie's making everybody else better on the team. Pascal's making everybody better on the team, and it's shared and collectively everybody gets better. And I really do think that's going to happen. That Precious Achiuwa may be one of the easiest examples to look at and say, wow, this guy's going to get really good. That if you look at what he did in Miami his rookie year, what he did last year, and what he's going to do this year, you're going to see real stair steps of elevating his game. And that I really do believe this. Nick Nurse is right. And if out of all these guys, if anybody's going to make a jump this year that's a sure bet, I think Precious is. I think Scottie's a pretty sure bet also. But I think Precious is for sure a sure bet that he's going to elevate his game this season. He's going to be a totally different kind of player in some ways. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's going to be really interesting to see. Monique's saying, did you see the podcast with Nick Nurse? So much high praise for Precious. Yes. Yeah. Just talking about it. This is great. Good job. And listen, we don't talk about Precious enough. He kind of gets lost in the shuffle with Scottie and Pascal and Fred and stuff like that, getting more attention and stuff like that. Precious is somebody we're going to need to give attention to because he's going to demand it from the way he plays and just how badass he's going to be. Watch. I'm going to tell you that right now. Shane Waters, good morning. Happy Thursday. Training camp's going to be tough. Hernan Gomez is an added wild card that's going to push the rest to step up and perform. Banton and Koloko are a lock for me. Good luck to the rest. See, once again, this is another person reinforcing that Delano Banton and Christian Koloko are a lock out of those 3 spots that are left. So that means that's 1 spot left for 4 gentlemen. Who are they going to be? Who is it going to be between DJ Wilson, Justin Champagnie, Armani Brooks, and Juancho Hernan Gomez? Who do you pick? Write it in the comments and I'll get to it and we'll talk about each scenario. Give me 3 players you would cut out of the 20, and we'll talk about who's left over on the 17, stuff like that. Pascal is looking great to G right now. I think you're right. This is one thing that I'm noticing with him and Scottie in their practice videos. There's a lot of 3-pointers getting shot. There's a lot of 3-pointers getting shot. And those threes are looking a lot smoother and nice, like mechanically and stuff like that. Pascal's shot looks so buttery nice right now. Ooh, just buttery smooth, right off the fingertips and right through the basket. So good. Monique saying Svi, David, and one more that's not coming to mind. Okay, Monique, David is not even being factored into my factoring here. So you're going to have to pick Svi and 2 other guys because David Johnson's not even in this equation. I've already cut him out of the opportunity to get on the team. He is not one of the 20 we're talking about. Monique saying, we love you, Thaddy Daddy. Yes, Thaddy Daddy. Thad Young, you are the man. And it's somewhat fun to see you playing pickup games this summer and also how you train your kids. It's hilarious. G saying Ron Harper is wearing his Raptors gear everywhere. Good stuff. I'm glad he's taken to it. Ron Harper's very active on social media. He's interesting. He's very feisty. Somebody came in like, all right, he had to post the post the other day with him and his girlfriend for 2 years. And Koloko came in and did the son thing. All right. This is what I'm saying. This could get out of control. Koloko came in. It's so nice to see my son having such a nice life or something like that. And some fan came in and said, Ron, I wouldn't be letting somebody tell you that they're your son. Like this. And Ron's like, hey, don't worry about it. You're the one who's on your profile saying that you're a hot dog connoisseur or something like that. And so he was feisty. Ron Harper Jr. was very feisty and kind of talking trash back to fans on his social media. So I kind of like that. I kind of like that he's feisty, but I don't like that Koloko's pushing the son thing. The Koloko, don't continue this son thing that Justin started. It's stupid. So just quit it. Koloko, you don't have to continue this tradition as a Raptor rookie. You don't have to do it. You don't. You do have to carry a really stupid backpack, but you do not have to continue the son thing. All right, let's see. Monique saying, I agree with you, Lex, on Pascal. Interesting stuff. Yeah. The Pascal stuff is interesting that he put that out there. Out of all the Raptors, he's really kind of the most secure in some ways. Him and Scottie are very secure on this team, that they're not really movable pieces in some ways, that we really have invested in them and have a lot of plans for them. And that, Pascal is not somebody we're trying to like trade or get any kind of way. It's obvious the way Masai Ujiri talks about Pascal and the way we've made moves, like I've said, about getting Rico Hines and Christian Koloko. That just shows we want you here in Toronto, Pascal. And we don't want you to play for any other NBA team, stuff like that. And Monique saying, gee, glad Ron is happy and with his decision, go Raptors. Yeah, I think Ron Harper will be interesting. You know what? I hope he has a lot of success for us this year in all kinds of different ways. All right, I Smoke Rocks is here. Let's see what I Smoke Rocks is saying this morning. What's up, Raptor Freak? NBA 2023 odds came out, and they have Sixers finishing 5th and Raptors 6th in the East. They got a Miami Heat versus Raptors first-round matchup. I like that matchup for you guys. Yeah, I don't. We'll have to see how Miami's doing. Miami's weird right now. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess Kyle Lowry's figured it out and he's okay. He's just gonna lose his weight. Jimmy Butler's adding weight with his hair, stuff like that. I don't know. Miami's interesting. We do match up well with them. Like, if other Eastern teams want the Raptors to be hitmen and take out the Miami Heat of the playoffs, we're one of the better teams that could probably do that. Okay, there's a garbage truck out front and it's just being a little loud. Let's see. Yeah, Monique's saying she doesn't read the odds anymore. Neither do I. I looked at the odds, and they have us 15th best chance to win the NBA championship. It's stupid. I hate it. It's so dumb. There's some teams that have a better chance than us, like the Pelicans, and I'm just like, really? The Pelicans have a better chance of winning it than we do? Come on, stuff like that. Vegas odds are stupid. Like, put some money down and make some money off of them is what I'll say. David S. is saying, these are the 3 guys he wants to cut. Justin Champagnie, Svi Mihalik, and DJ Wilson. So that means David, because David's a big Armani guy. I know this. That means that he would keep Armani, Juancho, and Delano, and Christian, and people like that. Okay, David, I can see this being pretty good. That's pretty good. I could see those guys are gone. Isaac Campbell said, I watched the Penny Hardaway interview when Precious was drafted to Miami. He predicted Precious would eventually win Defensive Player of the Year. It's so insane to think of this team's defense. Yeah, the Raptors defense is slowly but surely getting even more and more fortified. That with Coloco's presence being on this team this year and the increased development and smarts of young players like Precious and Scottie, look out. The Raptors defense is going to be so nasty. It's like we said, if we could have 5 OGs on the court, well, we're getting closer to that reality that we have like 5 OGs on the court. We got OG, we got Pascal, we got Scottie, we got Precious, we got Boucher, we got all these different guys that can do so much on the defensive end in different ways that it's going to be nasty. Teams will have a really hard time scoring on us. That just in general, they're going to have a hard time all kinds of ways. They're going to have a hard time bringing the ball up the court. They're going to have a hard time passing it around on their half court because we got so many long arms and just getting deflections and getting in the middle of passes and stuff like that. Yeah, it's going to be nasty. Like our defense is going to even get a upgrade this year over what it's been the last couple of years. It's already been really nasty, really, really nasty. Raptors OVO collection coming out this Friday. Monique is letting us know. I got an email from the Raptors yesterday telling me that they're about to drop some capsules. Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm not into that kind of stuff, but that's cool. David is saying I'd either keep Wancho or DJ, depending. So it's up in the air. See, I really do think that is a real camp battle. DJ Wilson and Juancho Hernangomez, that is going to be that they're similar in some ways. Do you want garlic and garlic Parmesan wing, or do you want garlic paprika wing? You got to make a decision. Evelyn's saying, oh my God, OVO, I'm addicted to their merch. Oh my gosh, Granny Evelyn's probably the most styling granny in her neighborhood. She's wearing the Drake's OVO gear and stuff like that. People see her on the street and they're like, damn, look at the swag on this granny here. Wow. They want to come up to her and just touch her. She looks so good in the clothes she got on. I bet. That's what I'm saying. I bet you Granny Evelyn decked out all in OVO gear is looking styling. I will tell you that right now. David's saying, I haven't seen Wancho play much. Yeah, and Curtis is telling him, yeah, Wancho's a stretch power forward. Yeah, Wancho is, listen, once again, I cannot reiterate this enough. Wancho is not Bo Cruz. So anybody who saw my video yesterday, we can't expect to get Bo Cruz hype or Bo Cruz talent or Bo Cruz like that is the guy we're getting. We're getting Juancho Hernangomez. And he has had a mixed bag of results with his NBA career so far. He's had some good success, but he's also had a lot of kind of like missed games from injury. He has not been the most reliable, dependable player to get on the court. There's been a lot of time he's missed, and then because he's gotten fallen out of favor because of injuries, he's had a hard time reclaiming spots and rotations. So that's the thing. He's similar to Svi Mihalik. He has bounced around from 3 or 4 teams, and he may be near the end of his NBA career just because he can't stick to a team as a role player. And this could be that way for him. Like, listen, yesterday we found out Aaron Baines is going back to Australia, that he did not make an NBA team, and he's going to play in the NBL this year in the Australian League. Good for Aaron Baines. I hope you continued success. I hope you kick ass and get a championship down there. And then hopefully maybe you make it to the NBA after that year or something like that. But that's what you got to do. Sometimes you got to go and take a overseas contract for a year or two and try again. And that may be what's about to happen for a couple of these Raptor guys who are trying to make the team in training camp. Like Svi, maybe with Wancho. We don't know. These guys may be playing for the like somewhere in Europe this season instead. We'll have to see. Let's see. Love that Nurse is making defense cool. It was getting lost. Players like Gary really embraced it. Now want to make all defense. Yeah, they all want to make all defense. Like, you know what? Maybe we're so pent up with not getting any respect and awards for being defensive in the league. They should just make the Raptors the all defensive team this year. Just put 5 fucking Raptors on all defense first team this year. Do it, NBA, because y'all have slighted us for our defensive prowess and how good we've been in the last couple of years. Put Fred, Gary, OG, Pascal, and Scottie, or no, take Pascal out. He'll get offensive award, and put Precious in there. And just put those 5 guys in there and say, these are the 5 best defensive players in the NBA this year. Because y'all slighted us so much, give them all the same thing this year. Oh, yeah, do it. All right, let's keep going. David's saying, yeah, I know, which is why I would keep him over DJ. Feels like Wancho shoots better. All right. Wancho's a good 3-point shooter if he's hitting his shot. It's a similar thing to Speed. Like he can be very cold or he can be doing all right and really hit it. Like it's really going to be who's going to be the most consistent shooter in training camp in the preseason from range will get the most consideration. Now, DJ Wilson is actually an underrated 3-point shooter. He can shoot the three pretty good. And he did really good in summer league with this three. And also, I really liked some of the offensive stuff that DJ showed around near the basket and in the mid range too. So he has three levels to his offense, like coming out. Now, Wancho, I'm not so sure about where his levels are with his mid range and his close to the basket stuff. I'm sure he's good at close to the basket stuff, but I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him. I haven't seen a whole lot of him at all, just like people on the stream either. And we'll just have to see where he is as a player at this point in time, stuff like that. Preseason game in Montreal coming up. Monique is pointing out that's right. They're starting to trickle out some of the news about the preseason that we're going to play the Bulls and on the 9th of October. I know that's one of the games, and that we're going to have a preseason game in Montreal this preseason coming up. So this is good. This is good news. I like that because Montreal's hot for basketball right now, and they deserve more hype. And the Raptors doing a preseason game there is really good. David's saying everyone on these American broadcasts always says you need a superstar to win a chip. Maybe a movie star is good enough. I like that, David S. Listen, Detroit Pistons, that team with Rip Hamilton and Chauncey Billups, they didn't have any superstars. This is kind of bullshit. And this is the thing. This is kind of gatekeeping when they say the teams need to have superstars. They're the ones who decide who the superstars are. Like Pascal Siakam is a superstar. They're so fucking full of shit. He is a superstar. They just decide not to anoint him a superstar because they're fucking PR machine. It's just a label. Oh, he's just a star. He's not a superstar. Where's the threshold? How can you determine that? Quantify how he's not a superstar and why he's only a star. It's so stupid. We have a superstar. In fact, we have multiple superstars. Pascal Siakam is a superstar, and so is Scottie Barnes. In a lot of ways, Fred VanVleet is also a superstar too. So they're so full of shit when they say you need a superstar to win a championship. Well, we have superstars. And realize this when they come and take a championship again, and then you'll have to say they're superstars. That Pascal Siakam is a superstar. So yeah, I feel like that's true. But maybe it doesn't hurt to have a movie star on your team also. Monique saying Svi is out. I'm giving a 15% chance. Justin, that is, and Raptors versus Celtics in Montreal. All right. So we're playing the Celtics in Montreal. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. That'll be a fun one for sure. Now, all right, I want to go over how I see the 20-man roster and who I would cut out of those 20 guys and why I would keep the other 17 guys. Now, when I went into my thinking for this, I thought about two things. The first thing that was really important to me is Bobby Webster's 6'9" vision. That I really, really value the way the Raptors played positionless basketball last year. In fact, I was crying out for it every time we saw it. I wanted to see it more of it. And I hated it because like sometimes Fred would come in the game and I'm like, oh man, we're not playing positionless anymore. I want to see more positionless. And because of that, I want to cut all these little guys that are on our team. I would cut the three shortest guys trying to make the team that are in those six. And those three are Armani Brooks, Justin Champagny, and Svi Mihalik. Those are the three names that I'm cutting on my official list. That we keep Bo Cruz and DJ Wilson as having two more wings that add to a whole bunch of wings. And if we do this with our team, then our roster construction has only two short guys on it. Three. Malachi, Fred, and Jeff Doughton. 3 point guards. And then really everybody else on this team can play positionless. Even Koloko is a center, but he is mobile enough to play positionless. Ron Harper Jr., Gary Trent Jr., those guys are pretty much sized up into this positionless scheme where they can play it and it would be fine. That is why I make this decision. Is I want to go positionless as much as possible. I understand when Fred's out there, there's a certain limit to how much we can do. If Malachi's out there, same thing. But if we can have, like, part of the reason why I want to do this even more is we need to discover more about Scottie Barnes and his playmaking as a point guard. That having Armani Brooks on our team is not going to help that. Having more point guards or little guys that can come and do this doesn't help that. We need Pascal and Scottie to be the backup point guards. And that is where we're going to discover a lot of our new success for our team in development is Scottie making our team better as the playmaker, as the person who is distributing the ball. And that if we have more little guys on the bench that maybe come in and take point guard time away, that will take away from the positionless time with Scottie running the point. So for our future and for Scottie's future and for the future of all the Raptors to get better, we want our Magic Johnson, our young Magic Johnson kind of point guard, 6'9" point guard, to start handling the ball more. And that's why I want more wings, because if you put more wings on this team, you load this team up with wings, then he has to play point guard. That this is what I'm saying. The 6'9" vision of Bobby Webster is very real, and we're going more and more towards it. So it wouldn't make me surprised if we cut by height. That if we cut by height going into training camp, that we say, look, Armani, you're badass. You're going to do really well. You're going to make it in this league. You're going to go somewhere else. But we're playing a very specific vision, 6'9" vision. I'm sorry. And Justin, you're a great guy. We love you. You're a great teammate. You're fun. You rebound really well. But you know what? Your skills aren't totally necessary for a team that's already built like our team is and stuff like that. In some ways, we have great offensive rebounders. We have great, gritty defensive kind of guys that can jump in there and do that kind of fight in the dog fight kind of thing that Justin's known for his signature and stuff like that. So I really want to double down on 6'9". And that's part of the reason why I made this decision. I said Armani, Justin, and Svi gone. And the other reason why is we're getting rid of 3 guys who are already on the team. We've already had looks at them. We want to improve. We want to get better. We want to try new guys. So why not bring new guys in? And another factor in my reasoning is the veteran years. Last year, we were skewing very young, like a very young roster, like average age. You take Goran off the team, and we were like the second youngest team in the league after Oklahoma City Thunder. I like that to an extent as a look last year in development, but this year I want to grow up a little. And why can't our average age on this team be a little bit higher this season? We can do that on the down low by keeping 26-year-old Juancho Hernan-Gomez and 26-year-old DJ Wilson. That in itself, you cut a couple of younger guys and you have guys that are a little bit more middle of their career, then all of a sudden your average age goes up and we're a little bit more experienced as a team overall compared to how we were last year. Otto Porter showing up just himself will help this right away. But I'm just saying that if we want to be a serious, legitimate championship contender, we have to have more balance of veteran leadership on our team than we did last year. That we were a little bit too inexperienced and young and kind of trying to figure out our legs. This year, we need to up our age a little bit and be a little more savvy and a little bit more vet experience. And that's another reason why I would like to keep the 2 26-year-old wings on the team for the roster coming up. That DJ and Juancho should be on the team because, once again, the 6'9" vision, they have a little bit more age than some of the other guys, more experience, and that all will help contribute to us being more of a championship contender this season, in my opinion. Now, that's the way I see it. You guys continue to give me your options and your ideas about how you see it, which 3 you would cut, and your reasons why. But that's my reasoning. It really has to do with the Bobby Webster 6'9" vision, and then also us getting older as an average age on our roster than last year and stuff like that. So let's see. David S. is shaking his head, shaking my head. I don't know why you're shaking your head. Maybe it's because we're playing the Celtics in Montreal. I don't know. Tom Duke saying, I agree with forcing Scottie to have the rock more. Playing point guard will force him to mature and grow his game. Well, listen, there's a lot of sliding Scottie going on right now. People are arguing Franz Wagner versus Scottie. All the Cade Cunningham people, all the Evan Mobley people, they all delegitimize our Roy. They don't think that he should have won Rookie of the Year. They all slight him and say shit like, well, we'll see who's good in like a year from now. We'll see who's good in 5 years and shit like that. Oh, yeah, we're going to see. And our guy's going to keep going. And you guys are going to be more and more shocked about what's happening. Because listen, I'm on the ground floor with this man, sitting in the Twitch with him. I'm understanding what makes him tick. And I see all the signs that this man's going to be special. That seriously, we got 2020 Magic Johnson on our team. This man is a 6'9" point guard, and he's going to show this more and more. That clip about him wanting to average 35 points and 2 assists is the inverse. That's him being silly. That's him actually being ironic, is what it is. He does not want to average that many points. This man is a distributor. He's a point guard, and he's going to play like it next year. And his stats may not be comparable to Cade Cunningham or Evan Mobley in some ways. They may beat him stat wise, but they won't factor in the X factor of the team and how much he makes our team win and how much he makes his teammates better. Is what's going to happen with Scottie Barnes. I still think he's going to average a good amount, but his assist numbers could be really impressive this year. I'm not going to lie. His assist numbers could be like weird. Like you're going to be all of a sudden like Scottie's like in the leaguers for assists all of a sudden. That may make people's heads turn real quick like that. Stuff like that. Monique's saying, I bet Chris Boucher had a big say on the games in Montreal. You can't tell me no. Well, maybe. I think it's really more that like, Montreal is becoming a hot spot for basketball, that there's more growing interest there. That it was a hockey town for so long, but the Raptors winning a championship kind of opened that door. And Montreal fans jumped on the Toronto Raptors bandwagon in some ways, and they're with us and like they're into the sport. And that is a great market. That's a great city. So they really do want to go focus on it and get it more involved. Maybe the NBA is like a little bit of testing to see how it might do as an NBA city in the future and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of all that. David S is saying, I'd love to see Franz and Scottie one-on-one. Now, listen, it's all perception. Like the Orlando fans are being so silly right now. Like, listen, you guys don't understand Scottie. I don't understand Franz Wagner. I didn't deep dive and watch him all year. I don't care. In fact, I think that he's a little bit overrated. I think that he will be good, but I think that Orlando may be a little bit overrating him. Like if I was going to look at all those Orlando players that are young and say one of them is going to be really good, I would say Banchero. But, listen, they're going to toot everybody's horn there. They're trying to say Jalen Suggs is going to be so good. They're going to say Franz is so good. They want to believe all of their young players can be so good. Well, we'll have to see. And I don't know. I believe in Detroit way more than Orlando this season. Really. I think Detroit will be a playoff team this year. But Orlando, I'm not so sure on. I don't know if they've got their shit together, actually. So. But I'm sick of hearing all the Franz versus Scottie stuff this week. Scottie's the better rookie. He won the Rookie of the Year, and he's going to be the better player in the long run. You guys are going to find this out. Trust me, I know. I tell you, Orlando fan, he's going to beat Franz Wagner for his career overall in the end. What? Trust me, he will. Monique saying news and notes. Chris Boucher camp in London. I guess you wanted to know. Yeah, I like that. I like that Chris is doing so many camps. These Raptor guys are doing camps left and right all over the place. And this is great. Get the community involved, get more interest in basketball and stuff like that. Steve Ed is saying you still need more shooting. Well, the thing about shooting with the Raptors is, once again, people don't understand we're developing within. And that, yeah, we got Otto Porter. That's an upgrade for shooting. But listen, what have we been seeing this week with Scottie and Pascal? We're seeing these guys practice a lot of threes, and their shooting is going to get better themselves. We're going to get better shooting from within. Like Gary Trent could be a little bit better shooter, not so streaky. Fred VanVleet will be a better shooter because he's playing off ball and he's not going to be carrying the ball as much. So he won't have that expend that much energy like being in charge of the ball. If he can wait in the corner and just wait for the good shot out of double teams, he's going to have an easier time shooting. OG hopefully will be more healthy this year, and that will improve our shooting. People can say, yeah, we need better shooting. Maybe from last year, we could do better than we did last year. But I think that these guys, specifically Pascal and Scottie, are really, really doubling down this summer on developing the three-point shot better. And that next year, the shooting could just come from those two guys, that these guys are just better three-point shooters this season and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. We're saying we need more shooting and that maybe we need Armani Brooks because of that or something like that. But, is Juancho shooting his shot? Is he making his shot? Because, once again, I'd much rather have a 6'9" guy that can shoot the same clip from three than a guard that can shoot three. They're the same. They're making the same percentage. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Svi comes in and he kills it in training camp and he's absolutely bombing it, I would pick him over Bo Cruz. Like if it really gets to that point, like that he's part of the shootout and like the training camp. Who's going to be the best 3-point shooter in training camp? Who's going to show the most in preseason? Who's going to be like a Sam Decker last year? Who's going to be that kind of guy and stuff like that? Shane's saying, I like your take, Lex. Positionless basketball is the vision. I like the D of Champagny is a little more than DJ. Juancho plays tough D. I slightly lean towards Champagny over DJ with that in mind. Well, once again, I mean, everybody's going to have a different perception and different things like that, stuff like that. I'm not saying Justin's not a great player, and I'm not saying that he shouldn't be in the NBA. I'm just saying that for what we're trying to do with our roster and our new vision, if we want to go and do this more, we should really construct the roster so we have to. And that we have talented big guys that can handle the ball. We don't have to necessarily have the prerequisite number of guards on our team like every other team in the league maybe has 5 or 6 guards on their team. Well, why can't we have 3 or 4 guards on our team? And that's not a big deal because we have forwards that play guard and stuff like that. It's that kind of stuff. I feel like if we have Armani on the team, he'd be a good backup shooter and stuff like that, but he's not really a good backup point guard. And he doesn't fit this what I'm talking about and stuff like that. So, but I believe Steve's right. We do need more shooting on this team. But I still think that once again, we can find these things organically within the personnel that we already have. And that's just them improving or getting better themselves. Like Precious could be a better shooter this year too. You know, all of a sudden, like he may be a little bit more dead eye and more dependable and stuff like that. We'll have to see. All right, let me see what else I want to talk about today. Okay, here's interesting news. Fred VanVleet's brother Darnell has started a new business, and this is very interesting. The big launch called Green Mountain, and you know what it is, guys? It's marijuana. This is the craziest thing. Like the league is starting to open up to not only like not penalizing people for marijuana, but also allowing it to be part of like a player's rehab regimen. That like sports medicine may be finally coming around to the benefits of having marijuana to come in and like calm you down, maybe help with pain relief, with whatever kind of different ailments. And that Fred's brother Darnell is on the cutting edge of this in the NBA. That he has a company called Green Mountain that grows marijuana, and that Darnell is going to start selling marijuana to the NBA with his company. That's what I'm hearing. This is very interesting development. Kudos to Darnell VanVleet on a great new entrepreneurship. And Fred VanVleet is obviously helping him in like he's going to help him run it. Probably has some ownership in this company also, and then Darnell is going to run it, and the brothers probably both own it together. So that's very interesting and stuff like that. The new business by Darnell VanVleet at Green Mountain. And yeah, the league, there's something that's okay. The league is okay with marijuana or something. I don't know. I was trying to figure it all out. Maybe I'm wrong. They are lessening their stance on marijuana over the years quickly. Like they were really, really zero tolerance for a long, long time. And now it's a little bit more lax as far as I don't think they test the players for marijuana anymore and stuff like that. So Monique's saying, so 905 added Baby Westbrook, Jalen LeCue. Yeah, I don't know anything about him. I've heard the nickname and stuff like that. I didn't really look at that move with Alex Antetokounmpo too much. But Monique, if you know stuff about him, if he plays like Russell Westbrook, he's got the same kind of size and kind of like skills and stuff like that. Hey, that'd be cool. I want to see how he does on 905. Jalen LeCue. So we have a Jalen on the team. We always have to have a Jalen somewhere on the Raptors. David's saying, yeah, they don't test for it anymore. Marijuana. Yeah. So Darnell VanVleet is going to be selling weed to the NBA players now. So there we go. All right. This is a think tank. How do you guys think? What do you feel? Maybe it's a little too early to try and make these decisions. We need to like see what they're doing. We need to see some of them in preseason action. We need to hear what's going on in camp. We need to see what's happening. And fortunately, none of this is going to happen for 2 months. That we got to wait till the end of September. Oh, man, this is going to be such a dry part of the season, tough time to make content. So I'm just going to be manufacturing topics on however we can figure it out. So interesting to hear different people's ideas about who they would cut and stuff like that. It's, there's no right answer. We don't know what's going to happen. We're not Bobby and Masai. They're going to make these decisions with Nick Nurse, and we have to, once again, this is the most important thing as Raptor fans, is just trust in Bobby and Masai, that they're going to get the best roster for us for this season coming up by analyzing all this talent to the best degree and really understanding what our needs are and what fits what and what makes the most sense. And to me, that's going big and getting more veteran. That is how I look at it myself personally. So yeah, the offseason is way too long. I mean, it feels more like it because I think that in some ways the interest and excitement about the Raptors is a high, is at a peak, partly because of people like Scottie Barnes and stuff like that. And that people just want to get back to it. It's like we watched the games last season. And it was so much fun to have Raptor games. It's like the NFL fans right now are about to get their fix because the NFL is coming back with their preseason training camp right now. And they're all like, ooh, well, NBA fans can get like that too, starting around September and stuff like that. Monique saying Jalen LeCue played for the Suns, apparently. Yeah, I'm going to have to go look at it. I didn't do any research on him after he got traded here. I should probably go look at him and see where he comes from and what he's all about. All right, guys. Well, once again, just another day in the week for Raptors stuff. Scottie Barnes and Precious having dunk off on the Instagram, both throwing down nasty dunks. Pascal showing some good work and that black and white footage. His shot looks really smooth and nice. And he's also talking about the reality of the business of the NBA and how you can get traded at any time and stuff like that. And Baines going back to Australia to play in the Australian League. And then just, Fred VanVleet's brother starting a weed company and stuff like that. That's basically the news of the day and stuff like that. We'll see if Scottie's on Twitch today. Could very well be that Scottie's going to show up on Twitch today. He wasn't on yesterday. So sometimes he's an every other day kind of guy. Yeah, no Twitch update today, Monique, because he wasn't on yesterday. He was busy. Tom saying, I just can't say who is getting the axe. I would agree with your picks, but you like Brooks. Cheers, Lex. Thanks, Tom. You're awesome too, man. You're a good guy, and I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not up for me to decide. This is just my opinion and how I feel about our direction with our team, our philosophy, and what we're trying to do as a team identity, and that it would make the most sense to keep the 6'9" guys. And also, it doesn't hurt that they're guys who have some experience, like they're 26 and they've had like 4 or 5 years in the league and stuff like that. Real experience, like playoff experience, and also, experience in more games on different teams. And they may take things a lot seriouser because they are on the cusp of possibly not being in the league. Like I want Hernan Gomez to show up and be Bo Cruz. I want him to show up and be absolutely amazing. And then it carries over into the season and we see this guy on the court, and then all season on TV, Jack Armstrong's saying Bo Cruz stuff and talking about it. It's like, oh, he's out there. He's got the hustle, baby. Bo Cruz with the hustle, stuff like that. So who knows? Tom Duke's saying, can we have a 20-man roster? I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, there's a couple of different things with that. Like there's all kinds of costs that go into having more players on your team, hidden costs, travel costs, jersey costs, all kinds of costs that, even extending it from 15 to 17 in the last couple of years is a big jump. So they're not going to extend it another 3 spots. It's like 17-man roster is pretty good. And especially with the pool of having a G League team also is pretty good also. So, yeah. Anyway, we can't have it all for everybody. This is what this league is, cutthroat, and the best of the best play in it. So that's what we got to determine. Who's going to be the best to be on the Raptors for this season. And it's going to be different for everybody. And it could be really weird how it happens. The reality, what happens right now, like we can make our predictions now. And then 2 months later, it's a whole different landscape and a whole different kind of scenario that's deciding it because of different things. So we don't know. Let's see. Monique saying, now I'm glad Scottie went to Montreal. I'm really glad he went to Montreal too. But he had a good time, and he's going to be going back to Montreal to play the Celtics in preseason. That's fantastic. because we need to kick their ass. And Scottie may have some friends there now and stuff like that. So Tom Duke saying, I want my cake and eat it too. Can't wait for October. Yeah. Tom wants to eat his cake and have it too. Yeah. Who would have thought? Yeah. All right, Monique. On that note, just coming up on an hour. Thank you for joining me this morning for this Thursday Think Tank. How do you feel? Even if you missed my stream today, go ahead and write in the comments who you would cut from the 20-man training camp roster and have for our 17-man roster going into the season. You can pick any of them. Just leave a comment and I'll respond. Thank you for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please, please, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll be back tomorrow for a Friday Freakout. Everybody have a great Thursday. I appreciate you, Tom, Monique, David, everybody who came in today. I Smoke Rocks. Have a great day. And I will see y'all tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's go Raptors.